Have you ever wondered why, despite your best efforts, you seem to be stuck in your personal development journey? If so, you're not alone. Personal development, the ongoing process of enhancing our skills, capabilities, and awareness, is on the minds of many. It's a commitment to continual growth and transformation, a journey that brings us closer to our true selves. Often we perceive this journey as a straight path, a linear progression towards a better version of ourselves. However, is that really the case? Is personal development truly a linear process? We tend to overlook the fact that it's a journey filled with twists and turns, peaks and valleys. It's not always about moving forward. Sometimes it's about pausing, reflecting, and even taking a step back to gain a new perspective. You may be making a common mistake that's hindering your progress. Want to know what it might be? Let's take a closer look at John's story. He's a self-proclaimed personal development enthusiast, just like many of us. John, a man of ambition, was always eager to become the best version of himself. He discovered the world of personal development early in his 20s. He was captivated by the idea of self-improvement and how it promised to transform his life. John read self-help books, took online courses, and even attended seminars. He was a sponge, absorbing anything and everything about personal development. In the early days, John saw remarkable progress. He became more productive, more confident, and his relationships improved. He felt unstoppable, fueled by a profound sense of achievement. This was the life he always wanted. But as the months turned to years, something changed. Despite his relentless efforts, John's growth seemed to have stalled. He was reading more books, attending more seminars, but his life remained stagnant. The changes that once seemed so significant now felt trivial. He was running on a treadmill, moving but not getting anywhere. John was perplexed. He was doing everything right, at least according to the self-help gurus. He was setting goals, pushing his boundaries, staying disciplined, but something was missing. The personal development strategies that once worked wonders now seemed futile. His frustration grew. He questioned his methods, his commitment, even his desire to improve. He felt as if he was trapped in a maze, endlessly searching for an exit that seemed to move further away with each turn. But despite his confusion and frustration, John didn't give up. He was determined to figure out where he was going wrong. He was committed to breaking through this plateau and continuing his journey towards self-improvement. John was stuck, but he didn't know why. Does that sound familiar? John, like many of us, was making a critical mistake in his personal development journey. John was a fervent believer in self-improvement. He read countless books, attended seminars, and pursued every avenue that promised personal growth. He was relentlessly chasing a better version of himself. But here's the twist in the tale. John was so engrossed in the idea of self-improvement that he overlooked an essential piece of the puzzle: self-acceptance. Now, you might wonder, isn't self-improvement a good thing? Isn't it what we all aspire to? Absolutely. Self-improvement is a commendable pursuit. It's the fuel that drives us to become better versions of ourselves. But here's where the problem lies. In focusing solely on self-improvement, John was inadvertently neglecting self-acceptance. He was so consumed by the idea of becoming better that he lost sight of who he was in the present. This, dear listeners, is a common mistake. Many of us fall into the trap of believing that self-improvement is the be-all and end-all of personal development. We become so fixated on the idea of becoming more that we forget to appreciate who we are right now. And why is this a problem, you ask? Well, without self-acceptance, self-improvement can become a never-ending chase. It can turn into a pursuit of an idealized version of ourselves that we may never attain. And in the process, we may lose sight of our true selves. Self-acceptance is about embracing who we are, warts and all. It's about acknowledging our strengths and weaknesses, our triumphs and failures. It's about accepting that we are a work in progress, and that's okay. It's about realizing that while we strive to become better, we are enough as we are. So, while John was tirelessly working to improve himself, he was losing touch with his present self. He was always chasing a better version of himself, but he forgot to accept who he was in the present. This was the critical mistake in his personal development journey. And it could be yours too if you're not mindful. Realization is the first step to change. Once John identified his mistake, he took steps to rectify it. John had been so focused on his personal development journey that he had forgotten to appreciate his own worth. He had been so busy trying to improve, he'd overlooked the person he already was. Recognizing this, he began to incorporate self-acceptance practices into his daily routine. Each morning, John would practice gratitude. He would list out the qualities and achievements he was proud of. This simple act of acknowledging his worth helped him see that he was not a project to be fixed, but a person to be celebrated. He also started to embrace his imperfections. Instead of viewing them as flaws to be corrected, he saw them as unique aspects of his personality. He learned to love his quirks, his idiosyncrasies, and even his mistakes. They were all part of his journey, part of his growth. John also stopped comparing himself to others. This was a significant step. It's so easy to look at others and feel inadequate, but John realized that his journey was his own. He didn't need to be like anyone else. He just needed to be the best version of himself. John's personal development journey took a turn for the better. His stress levels decreased, his confidence increased, and he felt a sense of peace he hadn't experienced before. He was no longer chasing an ideal self. He was embracing his real self. And the most beautiful part? His progress didn't stall. In fact, it accelerated. He found that by accepting himself, he was more open to growth. He was more willing to take on challenges and step out of his comfort zone. John's story is a powerful reminder that personal development isn't just about becoming better. It's about recognizing and appreciating who you are right now. It's about accepting yourself with all your strengths and weaknesses and knowing that you are enough. By accepting himself, John was able to break free from his plateau and continue his personal development journey. John's story teaches us an important lesson about balance. It's a concept that's often overlooked, but it's crucial in personal development. Balance is about finding the sweet spot between striving for better and accepting yourself as you are. It's about knowing when to push and when to pause, when to challenge yourself and when to show kindness to yourself. Think of it like a seesaw. On one end, you have self-improvement, the drive to become better, to grow, to evolve. On the other end, you have self-acceptance, the understanding that you are enough as you are right now. If the seesaw tips too much in one direction, it's no longer fun. It's no longer functional. It's the same with personal development. When we focus too much on self-improvement, constantly striving for more, we can end up feeling inadequate, always falling short of the ideal we've set for ourselves. It can become a never-ending cycle of dissatisfaction. On the flip side, if we lean too heavily on self-acceptance, we run the risk of becoming complacent. We might convince ourselves that we don't need to change or grow, that we're fine just the way we are, and miss out on opportunities for development and growth. And that's where balance comes in. It's about recognizing that you can strive for better while still being content with who you are. It's about understanding that you are a work in progress and that's perfectly okay. It's about celebrating your achievements, however small they may be, and acknowledging your strengths while also recognizing your areas for growth. This balance is what leads to sustainable growth. It's what allows for continuous development without burning out. It's what helps us to build a healthy relationship with ourselves, to see our worth and potential, while also acknowledging our flaws and limitations. So remember, balance isn't something you find, it's something you create. It's a continuous process of adjustment and readjustment, of give and take, of striving and accepting. Balance is key. Without it, we risk getting stuck, just like John did. Now, it's time to reflect on your own personal development journey. Just as we've walked through John's journey, it's crucial to take a moment and think about your own. It's a voyage, a constant evolution, an unveiling of the layers of your unique self. So tell me, can you see a bit of John's story mirrored in your own? Are you also sprinting towards perfection, ignoring the beauty of the journey? We all stumble and falter, and that's what makes us human. We're not meant to be perfect. We're meant to be real, to be authentic. So I ask you, are you striving for perfection, or are you embracing the authenticity of your journey? It's all too easy to get caught up in the hustle, the constant need to be better, to do more. But remember, it's equally important to pause, to breathe, and to appreciate how far you've come. This is not a race, but a marathon. It's not about the destination, but the journey. Where can you find balance in your life? Perhaps it's in the quiet moments of reflection, or maybe it's in the joy of shared laughter with loved ones. Maybe it's in the pursuit of a passion that lights up your soul, or perhaps it's in the tranquility of nature. The key is to find your balance, that perfect harmony between striving for more and appreciating what you have. Challenge yourself to identify areas where you can improve your balance. Is it in your work-life balance, your physical and mental health, your relationships, your passions and hobbies? Take a moment to reflect, to understand, and to plan. Remember, personal development is a journey, not a destination. Keep exploring, keep growing, and most importantly, keep accepting yourself for who you are. As you traverse this path of self-discovery, remember to be kind to yourself, for you are a work in progress, and that's a beautiful thing. You're not meant to have all the answers. You're meant to seek them, to learn, to grow, and to evolve. So keep exploring, keep growing, and keep being you. Join us on this captivating journey. Unveil the wisdom, embrace the growth, and let your spirit soar. Join the Quantum Spirituality community. Share your quantum experiences, manifestations, and questions in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to continue to be inspired, motivated, and enlightened spiritually to a fulfilling life.